again. Hi, I'm Mary Wu, LinkedIn speaker, trainer, consultant. Once a month, I do a free workshop on some aspect of LinkedIn. The reason I call it a workshop is I spend 15 to 20 minutes teaching you about some aspect of LinkedIn. And then after that, what I do is open the room for the people that are in the room to ask questions, ask where the any key is, ask how to do all the different things I've talked about. So I really like to have the option of letting people work on things while they're here. And why are you not letting me mute people? Oh, that's why. Yes, there we go. There we go. You're all muted out of love or out of I know the other day I was on a meeting. I was muted, luckily, but my dog decided that there was something very important going on outside and he had to let the whole neighborhood know. So for today, in a couple of minutes, we're going to talk about um, LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn profile polishing, and then we're going to work. Here we go to screen share. Seriously, I'm wide awake and I did this 5 minutes before you all came in. Boom. Okay, we're going to go up to slide one. One of the things that we've known this for a long time. Back in the old days, LinkedIn was a place where we would put our resumes, and we would have static resumes. And for most of the people that I work, solopreneurs, coaches, speakers, LinkedIn is not a we shouldn't be thinking of LinkedIn as a resume. We should actually be thinking of it as a lead magnet and a place to connect with humans. So the first thing any human sees when they look at your LinkedIn is your profile. So what to get real profile prettiness, real clients, real connections. We're looking at it like a resume, not a LinkedIn. If somebody landed right now on your profile, what would they do? Would they be like, I want more about this person and I'm going to look down the whole profile, or would they run away? And if it's a ghost town, they will run away. I've seen people where they're using it like a landing page, like a web page, and not actually interacting with it. And I know when I go and I look at somebody's LinkedIn profile and they haven't posted in 4 or 6 months, I think, are they even still in business? Or the other thing people do is people will post like, you can tell it's automated posting and they're never interacting with it. They might post something, but other people will comment on it and they'll never respond to those comments. And also, a thing that I know, and a lot of people know this, you can go on LinkedIn, look at somebody's profile, look at their activities, and see that they've never commented on anything in 8 months. LinkedIn rewards you when you're present. If you show up, it shows you to more people. If you're DMing, it shows you to more people. If you're commenting, it shows you to more people. And when you're not active, it buries you. So even if you have those random posts popping up once a week that have been scheduled through Buffer a month and a half ahead of time, it's not showing them to anybody. So first thing we do is we make the profile look good. So when people are coming to look at you, they have something of value to see. Once we get our profile looking good, that's when we start connecting with people. That's when we start building relationships. That's when we start looking for collaborators or referral partners or even clients. And then we post consistently. When you post consistently, you stay top of mind, you build your authority. And if you're posting good content, good long form content on LinkedIn, it can be picked up by the LLMs, the language learning models. So it can show up in Claude, it can show up in chat if you've got good content. All right. If somebody's looking, what do they see? The first thing they see is the banner image, and it could be useful or forgettable, One of the interesting things about the banner image is most people are looking at LinkedIn on their phone, and most people are designing their LinkedIn for desktop. So if you have a lot of words, a lot of information on your banner, that might seem right, but it also could get completely lost if somebody's pulling up stuff on their phone. You can create great banner images using Canva if you have that, and there's a free version of Canva. There's also a paid version of Canva. Um, so you could use your tagline. Actually, I wanted to change this slide and forgot to. Don't show your face on your banner image unless it's a face of you doing something active. So if you're a speaker and you can have a photo of yourself in front of an audience on your banner image, that's great. But you don't need to repeat what's just over in the other corner as the photo. With your headshot, you want to be just you. You might want a plain background. Some people have other things in their background, and it works depending on who you are, who your audience is, and what you're trying to reflect. And you need to have a recent photo. My rule is what I call the coffee shop rule. If you're going out to meet somebody that you only know from their LinkedIn banner, LinkedIn headshot, you should be able to find them. True story. One day I had to pick up somebody at the airport, DNA, and I found her because she looked like her actual photo. Also, she kind of cheated and did a video saying, "Hey, I'm going to go meet with some people in Nashville." So I'd seen her video earlier that day. Nishani, when we get to the work through part, I'll show some videos. I'll do some screen shares of some good banners that I love and some bad examples because I like to use don't do this. The headline is what shows up after your name. It's what you do, who you do it for, and the results you get. These can and should be very specific. There's a lot of people that have president, CEO, founder, speaker, consultant, and that doesn't give a lot of information. But the other thing you have to remember is you only get 220 characters. So you've got to be really kind of hyper focused on how to best use those 220 characters. And a lot of it depends on who your audience is and who you're talking to. One size, okay, right now in this particular meeting, everybody's a female. And as females, we've been there, we've shopped, and we know one size does not fit all, ever. Hello, okay. The about section is what shows up next. This is where you've got a lot of room, but the important thing to remember is I like to say that most people on LinkedIn have an attention span longer than that of a goldfish. We can think for longer than 6 seconds, but in that first 6 seconds, that first line or two, you have to grab people and make sure you're talking to your audience there. And then you can continue on and draw them in. So you want to hit their pain point first, whatever their pain point is. Then you want to start letting them know that you understand what their problem is. Then you start to build your story about why you're the answer to that. And then you leave them with a call to action. You have a lot of words that you can use in the about section, but you have to keep them interested to keep them scrolling. And if you're like me at the beginning, they're going to move along. But if you're you, this is what I offer, this is how I can help, then they'll be more interested. The featured section comes next. A lot of people leave it empty. A lot of people talk about a job and how long they were there. You can get a lot of, featured section, brain went to experience section. Featured section, people ignore it, they don't use it. It's a great place to use a speaker reel. You can put a link to your booking in there. You can Feature your best post. You can feature events, but one of the things I've seen, and we'll walk through some of this stuff later on after the recording's done. Uh, a lot of things I've seen though is somebody will put an event in their featured section, and the event's a month out, and then 3 months out, they still haven't removed it, and somebody's looking and sees an event that already happened and they kind of walk away. So make sure in your featured section it's either current or evergreen, one of those two things. In the experience section, sometimes people have it completely blank. Sometimes people just talk about what their job description was. But a lot of people really are looking when they're looking at the experience section. This goes for coaches, it goes for speakers, it goes for consultants, but it also goes for job seekers. What people are looking for in the experience section is their wins, their results, the impact that they've had at a place. So that's something we need to kind of think about while we're there. All right, now we've got there are actually 16 different sections to a LinkedIn profile. We're not going to hit all of them now. We don't have time for that. But once you've got kind of the top part of it cleaned up, that's when we can start posting, but maybe not. I know people that actually get a lot of great results on LinkedIn, posting once a week and commenting 20 times a day, really getting into thoughtful, relevant comments on posts from people that are their ideal clients. And remember when I talked about that headline that follows your name? That also follows you in a comment. So when somebody sees your name in a comment, they'll see what your headline says. They'll discover you. You're talking in the comments. We assume that whatever the post was, somebody else has similar interests. So you're already connecting on that level. Another thing is very important is to connect. If you meet somebody, okay, there's a couple of people here that are in Nashville and may or may not go to either Connect Nashville events or Women Connect events. You meet somebody there, you get their card. The next day, you connect with them on LinkedIn. Not a month and a half later, because they're going to forget you by then. Back in the day, when you sent a connection request on LinkedIn, you can send a personal message to go with it. Hi, I met you at the Beers and Business last night. I'd love to connect with you here on LinkedIn. You can't do that anymore. So you connect, and then when they can reconnect with you, pop them out a personal message right away. I'm glad to have met you at Beers and Business. I would like to get to know you a little better. I'm looking forward to following your content. Never ever go with what LinkedIn gives you as a default message. That's kind of a pro tip. And you engage first, and then you keep engaging, and then you keep engaging, and you don't pitch. I get so many pitches on LinkedIn, and they're really, nobody wants it. Nobody pays attention to it. Everybody deletes it. But connecting with humans, talking about things you have in common, talking about how can you help them? You may not be able to help them from your business standpoint, but you may know people that they might need to be connected with. And LinkedIn is a brilliant place for connecting. Consistency is important. And I love to see people, maybe I would love to see everybody posting 3 times a week. That's honestly true. But I'd rather see you consistently posting one solid message once a week, every week, than Mary told me I should post 3 times a week. It's Friday. I haven't posted. I'm going to put up 3 posts on Friday. 2 reasons. You're fighting yourself in the algorithm if you post more than once a day. And we want you more often than all at once. That's a little bit, it's kind of overwhelming. The I've noticed, I've been on LinkedIn a while. Sometimes the people that are doing the best are the people that are giving the most away because value builds trust. This is a person with knowledge. I like their knowledge. I want more of their knowledge. Sharing client wins is great, especially if there's been something that's really significant to other people or something that other people can learn from. Last week, I did a presentation for LinkedIn on LinkedIn for Nashville Score, and one of the people that was in there had lost access to their account because they lost their job and was only able to access LinkedIn through their job. Very sad. And so what I did later was I created a post saying, don't forget to have at least 2 email addresses, one of which you own. And I really like this kind of having a point of view is useful. Safe is actually invisible. I have, if anybody's seen Hamilton, what do you stand for? What do you stand for? Who, who are you at your deepest level? Okay. And LinkedIn's not a billboard. It's a conversation. Billboards are great. You go past them on the interstate at 150. Okay. We go past them on the interstate at the speed limit because we never go over the speed limit, but we're not paying attention to them. But we are paying attention to conversations that we're having. So this week, this is your homework. Review your profile, all of it. And those people that are here in this room today will work on that as soon as I'm done with this. A couple of more slides. 15 minutes a day, pop on, make comments, make connections. You can always find a post from me and comment on it. When LinkedIn says it wants comments, it means 10 to 15 words or more. It doesn't mean great job, happy birthday. The default message is always wrong. Don't be afraid, create some kind of a post, and we can talk about that after the recording, and find something to put in the featured section. I got some ideas for a couple of you here. All right. Right now, somebody's looking for somebody that offers what you offer. They're looking for that. LinkedIn is a great place to look for people because I can look at your LinkedIn profile. I can tell who you are. I can tell where you went to school. I could tell who you know that I know. So I know who to ask about you. So make sure you're there. And if you get, the dream client come and start DMing you, let me know because I will party hardy. If you need more help, I have available a 45-minute review just for you because we've already talked about this. One size does not fit all. And I will go through as many of the parts as your profile as we can in 45 minutes. And I promise I'll have 3 or 4 things that you'll probably need to change right now. Because I know, we all know it always needs brushing up. That's it for the recording. If you're on the recording and need more information, reach out to me. And everybody in the room,